Dragon Ball Z Movie 12, Fukkatsu no Fusion, Gokuu to Vegeta, aka Fusion Reborn, is a movie where the dead returned onto life after an accident happened in the afterlife, creating a monster known as Janemba. It is up to Gokuu, Vegeta, and Paikuhan, also known as Paikon in America, to stop Janemba and return everything back to normal. The movie does a good job in showing the chaos Janamba's existence has to both the afterlife and the living world, as the viewer will be able to see both what is going on in these different locations. Goku and Paikuhan and Vegeta deal with Janemba. Meanwhile, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Videl do their best to deal with the revived villains, amongst which is Frieza. The movie also uses two art styles for serious and non-serious moments, but not necessary for comedic scenes. As there are references to famous movies or historical events that get parodied, which some countries won't be able to see because of censorship, like the infamous dictator being removed from the German dub. Speaking of art styles, the visuals and animation are even holding up today and are the best looking Dragon Ball visuals we have seen so far. The animators took full advantage of the tools they had, making Janemba's ability, especially the teleportation ability, a visual spectacle. It is alongside Dragon Ball Z movie 13, Wrath the Dragon, and Dragon Ball movie 4, Path to Power, without the doubt the best looking Dragon Ball film. And there is a good reason why this alongside Wrath the Dragon are the only Dragon Ball movies from the original run that had a worldwide theatrical release. As the name suggests, the selling point of this movie is Goku and Vegeta fusing to Gogeta, being the first time these two merged to stop a common enemy. And the build up to that moment is done beautifully. We see more about Vegeta's inferiority complex and the hate of the idea to fuse with his rival. It might even rival Vegeta's character development throughout the Buu saga. While we are on the topic of the Buu saga, this movie can't fit into the main storyline and can be seen as an alternative storyline where the good guys defeated Majin Buu and Goku and Vegeta remain dead. Janemba is a villain that resembles Buu a lot, but is created out of pure evil. He starts off as a fatso and later becomes a muscular demonic lizard thingy. After one of the most creepiest transformation scenes ever. His abilities are also unique to him, but it feels like there are so many abilities that is unnecessarily added some Buu abilities as an extension. But the main appeal obviously is altering objects and teleportation. And not only can he teleport himself, but he can also create teleportation portals, which he cleverly uses on his opponents without physically appearing and sending bad attacks aimed at him. Meaning he can use his ability for offensive and defensive purposes. But personality-wise, he's inferior to Kid Buu. After he turned evil, since he can't speak, most of his emotions are expressed by emoting with his body. He's also the only character in the series that uses physical weapons. After the Frieza saga, it makes it believably dangerous, as something like the sword Future Trunks uses didn't enhance his fighting abilities and were just visually pleasing. Comedy in this movie is also great, as the jokes, some had build-ups in the movie, some were built up from the show itself. It would be hard to explain some of them without spoiling it, but these aren't the only types of good comedic moments. The environment is another thing notable for this movie and unique, as viewers who have seen the anime have already seen hell, but now that Janemba appeared, viewers can see how Janemba's existed altered hell, combining the multicolored giant jelly beans created by Janemba and the unusual color scheme of hell. It creates one of the most surreal landscapes in the franchise. Simply put, changing the already explored location into a brand new one. Like always, there's some criticism. One of all the villains that the show has returned, only one fights and gets defeated in an underwhelming way. I wonder who that is. Guess who doesn't stop appearing over and over again, pretty much wasting the potential of old villains getting a second chance to get what they want, and taking advantage of the secondary cast like Piccolo, Yamcha, and Chaozu and Krillin to beat someone like Bojack, Taurus, or Lord Slug. Instead, most of the living world scenes are wasted for historical jokes and Goten and Trunks. As with most Dragon Ball Z movies, the villains in Dragon Ball Z movies who are similar, the villains are similar to the ones in the most recent arc that came out at the time. Janemba is basically Boo, while he has some unique abilities and a killer design in his final form. He just feels like a watered down version of Boo. Both start out as fat souls, and at the runtime of the Boo saga, the latest form as the movie would come out as like Super Boo, but you can also compare it to Kid Boo when Janemba takes his final form. Super Boo and final form Janemba have the similar body structure, and the size difference between Fat Boo and Kid Boo is also similarly to how big the change is between Fat Janemba and final form Janemba. And as a character, he is shallow after his transformation, who had a childlike innocent personality. And there's the question, why is he as strong as he is? Another problem is that transformation from big to small is in that regard to Boo, who was made out of magic and bubblegum substance, really questionable. Janemba's transformations that happens in a similar matter feels therefore really unrealistic, while Boo's transformation seems believable. It also makes it less believable that Janemba can extend his arms, an ability he didn't even need. One other issue is the neglect of Paikuhan as a character. While he did help out, most of his time was wasting trying to free King Enma or King Yama, only appearing to buy time for the fusion briefly, so he was a wasted character for most of the film. Overall, Fusion Reborn is a good movie. I still remember it well, and the movie is what made Gogeta such a memorable character and why everyone loves him. This movie has the debut of Super Saiyan 3 on the big screen, and might be the best use of the form so far. Even the transformation scene of Super Saiyan 3 surpasses the one in the anime version, taking advantage of the environment shift as well as the tone from the battle, getting from fun to serious. So if you like more character development for Vegeta, if you love Fusion, especially Gogeta, and want some good Super Saiyan 3 action, you owe yourself to watch Fusion Reborn.